so far to keep the Timbersaw down. If he goes into that hood build, then you also don't really take damage from the Starfall or the Aghanims.
It also keeps Wings guessing, because it's not set in stone where the Timbersaw is going to go. You know, we know he plays it, we know who plays it. It's very ambiguous.
Yep.
And I think it gives DC more time to decide how they really want to assess Wings draft and how they want to deal with it.
I wonder if they're even going to go back to Drow. I think, like, even the last month, they just constantly pick Drow every single time first phase, and sometimes they like to sneak it in. Even, like, last game, I felt like they just switched around the draft completely with the Keeper Light last pick. It's like, okay, we didn't know whether or not it was going to be, like, the support or the off-lane Brewmaster, just because we really never see that hero, and I think they could be throwing a curveball.
I mean, this could help us identify a bit more, though, as far as what Wings plan to do. Is Skywrath Mage, the third pick, has been a go-to for some of the teams as a Timbersaw counter. They just favor a lot of silence.
I love it. It's like we spoke about it in the bus before. It's like a really hard Timbersaw counter, and he's like one of the only support heroes that can really.
Oh,
yeah.
There we go. That's what we want to see.
There we go.
We were not blessed last TI with any sort of pudge. This time, Wings do us the honor here. And then I happen to notice Misery smirked a bit at that one.
The second time they pick Pudge, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
So what does the pudge do here? And what do Wings do to utilize this pudge to make it something that they can continuously pull out in drafts at the most highest caliber tournament on the planet?
I feel like they can do one of two things. It's usually... He's actually a very strong lane support. Because if you get hooked and you have one level in Rot and any other kill potential on a hero, you just pressure the lane so much. So it's good if you think the enemy might go dual offlane, but it's also good to pressure the offlane or the enemy safe lane as well. You can do the same thing. You can just set him plus one other hero, and it's just, you're against a Luna, right? You either force the Kunkka and the Shadow Demon to stay bottom to protect against the Pudge plus whatever hero they're going to be setting offlane on Wings, and then it's just that pressure constantly from a Pudge. And when he's missing during the mid game, random hook hits, it can just be a kill.
It's kind of like a right? Like
yeah.
You have to completely change the way you play the game. And I like it for another reason, because they have Pudge plus Skywrath. If Pudge ever gets a blink, they can pretty much solo kill any core. Like those two heroes can kill any core, as well as the Naga Sirenet. You can just ult on top of that with the Skywrath, and you can get a super easy hook on that. You can even hook sleep targets out of the sleep, and then they're like super separated. You can just kill one core off at a time.
Reserve time.
It's not that good against SD Luna though. Like SD in general, like very good against.
I think it's more about the lane, and if you land a hook when the enemy team is 5-manning, you can still potentially fight off of it.
Although, if they really get into the late game with the Luna Siege, I think they're gonna have a lot of problems.
That is true. Yeah. But it's also something to be said, like DC, pick Luna SD, you can still play a very early 5-man style if you want to try to just get the map control away and prevent the Naga from getting to that like critical point in the game. So it really depends. I think they're a little bit more flexible than what Wings are right now.
So Ben, as a Wings fanboy,
What? Already? We just started. It's day number 1. Pudge and techies already.
All right, boys.
Wings deliver.
Try to go high ground. Really.
ever.
Toby not cast at one of the games. We're like, wow, this would be a really good techies laner. They had Pudge, they had Magnus, they had Rubik, and they deliver.
Wow. That makes it 102, right?
So is this like Techie's Pudge offlane?
I don't know.
I mean, that's the first thing that I thought of.
It's a support bottom for sure.
It is.
That's new for Wings, so we'll give them that. DC round up their lineup with something a bit more traditional in the Invoker. Gentlemen, I know it might be hard to predict, but what do you say as we throw things over?
I'm going for Wings.
I mean, I have to go for Wings. I just love what I see here.
Also Wings. Techies all the way.
It's hard not to love their draft, is it? Let's go ahead and see what the casters think. They better be pumped about this one. Let's throw it over to them right now. It's LD and Mott. Gentlemen, take it away.
Well, what do you say? You got a Pudge, you got a Techies. Nobody expected this. LD, it's hype time. What do you think?
This is Wings. You don't know what to expect. Expect the unexpected. If anyone was going to pick Techies at the main event, it was always going to be Wings. If anyone was going to pick Pudge, it was definitely going to be them. Some cute combos, but honestly, I have no idea. We have not seen techies in competitive Dota. That, in theory, is a big advantage for Wings, but generally, when you haven't seen a hero at all, it's because he's not very strong right now. So it's going to be up to Wings to prove us wrong, and it looks like it will be an off-lane techies. Faith Beyond the man to play it. Already TPing. Where's he going to start getting to work? He has skilled the landmine, so we're not going to see any level 1 Suicide Squad shenanigans. What's he up to here?
I feel like this is going to either go extraordinarily well for Wings or, well, maybe we're
extraordinarily poorly.
Yeah.
It could be a very quick game. If the techies pick backfires, Pudge in the mid game as a support that can snowball, but if he has a bad start, doesn't really offer that much, could be a disaster.
It's going to be the torrent. Innocent's caught out, it looks like, and he will fall. It's going to be your first blood going the way of DC, so already a good start for their squad.
We're just trying to do the hero introductions here. Relax, DC.
They really wanted to make sure they dealt with all of these heroes quickly.
So, jungle techies, I guess. And a bunch of mines at the camp for now. Blink hanging out nearby. Wonder how much Wings have practiced this particular strategy. We're going to find out real soon.
This is super interesting to me. Faith Beyond, he's going to be able to at least take down some of these camps here. This doesn't block. There's some. All right. All chat starting off the day the way it should.
I've heard Wings like to all chat a lot in scrims, and they are known for their trash talk. Actually, a bit NA Dota-esque in the way that they will approach the game. They'll often be kind of mocking and teasing their opponents for any mistakes they make. So, starting with 5 heroes bottom, they have nobody on the top side of the map.
This
whatsoever.
is a completely open safe lane. There's nobody here.
The abandon your safe lane strat. I have never seen this before.
What's going on?
Is this a real game?
This isn't Dota. I don't know what this is. Soxa's sitting here waiting for a disruption. Little does he know there's nobody up here. They're aggro tri-laning.
So their counter to the aggro tri-lane is just not to lane anyone top. Faith Beyond, instant level 2. The first kaboom of this TI, and instead, Mott, they're going bottom. Ice is there as the Pudge. I really think they need level 2 to have an easy kill in this lane, but not going to be an easy lane for the Timbersaw.
Like they said, Rot obviously, but they're going to go for it anyways. The Rot coming out and Moo. He can deal with physical damage. He cannot deal with the magical damage. He will verify. What a torch from Misery! Ice, he'll go down!
And now the good luck, have fun.
HF from Moo.
Well, a dose of NA Dota in North America. How fitting. Techies, now that he has his level 2, is going to go to the top lane. He has Suicide Squad, so if he gets caught out, he can always Suicide and deny the opponents a bit, but they're moving on to Misery bottom. Great body blocks from Y. They don't have hook yet, and the torrent again connecting.
What a start to this game.
Well, running a bit of a cheese strat here, giving up those 2 early kills, not the way you want to begin the game.
No, definitely not. I feel like Faith Beyond, he's going to sit up here, and we'll see what kind of impact he has. I mean, again, he's only level 2. He does have Suicide Squad, so they might rotate him down bottom, see if they can kill Moo. But this tri-lane, they should have gotten that kill to begin with. But again, a great rotation from Misery.
Fairy Fire too good.
Else. Yeah, that Fairy Fire as well. Great timing from Moo. And now he's level 2, so he's got Timber Chain, so if he needs to get out of a bad situation, he certainly can. And we'll see if that's going to be the case for Moo. Continue laning, Ice, getting right-clicked by Misery a little bit. And no X marks just yet, though, for Kunkka.
So you're definitely showing poise here. A very unusual draft and opening strategy, but they don't fall prey to it. They carried the early TP on Misery, and he does come to the fight, salvages things, and makes it a big win. So looking at matchups now, Faith Beyond on the techies. They're going to leave the Luna alone here. The only way Luna really dies in this situation is if she gets caught very out of position and walks into mines. But on her own, she's not in danger of dying. Maybe he lays a trap and then the Pudge comes and hooks her. But barring something like that, he's going to farm.
What an arrow! He was barely in range of it. I don't even think he was. Now down bottom, Ice, still in trouble. We'll miss that torrent. Looks like Moo's actually the one getting right-clicked down now, and Ice will be able to stay alive.
They don't have the silence yet, so killing Moo is very difficult, even with the level 1 Timber Chain. Steely leaves level 3 here on Innocence. Instead, might look for Misery. They do have an ensnare, but Moo's up in front.
He's the body blocker, and he's going to be the bodyguard, getting the kill on the Pudge with the Whirling Death on a right click.
All right, where's the all chat well played from Moo?
Top lane, there's an invis, at least Shadow Demon coming up here. Disruption's going to come through, and it's already starting with Resolution on that Luna. The illusions will go through. They'll try to clear out whatever mines are here. It's a great idea from the side of DC, and it looks like, well, there's no mines at least, so yeah, that doesn't really matter.
It's definitely an important point is that Shadow Demon is very annoying for techies, as you can just run illusions around to try and clear out traps. Later on in the game, maybe even a gem is on a hero at times, and you can use those True Sight illusions to scout out potential traps. So, looking at the way the game's developing, it's a big concern for Waynes. The Naga is not farming particularly well in the tri lane. Timbersaw is already level 4, so that off lane is a complete disaster. In the mid lane, Blink is only slightly ahead of the Invoker, who has gotten some help. And this is actually the other hero besides Meepo that he really rose to prominence on. He can take games over as Invoker. I don't feel like they have the best Invoker counters later on in the game. So that's 2 lanes not going well. Now on top of that, Luna is your lead farmer. It is not a good start for Wings at all.
Sunstrike with the Shadow Voice for the disruption. Sunstrike on top. And he does leap away just in time. Wings is able to get out. Blink will be able to move away.
So he's running for his life, and Invoker's free farming.
3 off. He had gotten 4. That might have been a kill, but I don't think 3 is enough to do it. No, not even. I mean, especially with level 1.
Only a level 1 Shadow.
It will not do nearly enough damage.
And now with Timbersaw having the advantage, it gets a lot harder to kill him. Skywrath is the hero they need there if they want to go for kills. Still not seeing really much of a trap, just looks like a single landmine top. Soxa walks over a solitary one.
It tickles him a little bit, but there's another one in lane. He's going to walk over it as he disrupts, maybe not. Torch set this up as well, and the Sunstrike. Boom! They will get the kill, and they will lose their techies on Wings.
When they're confident, DC are confident enough to just come in and gank the techies. Normally techies lane is like the no-go zone. It's less so the case since the big change rework to mines after TI5, but they're just still moving in. They're looking for another kill here top on Shadow. And with the turret, the nuke from the Luna, they will find it. Wings might be a very quick game 1 the way things are headed. Already trailing 2,000 gold, 1,500 experience. Not seen techies offer much. He is leveling up Suicide Squad mod. A hook is probably an instant suicide kill because they really need to do something to shut down these cores.
Well, this is not a great start for Wings. We don't have to say it. We talked about it in the beginning of the game. They didn't get off to a fast start, and then it was going to be trouble. At least Blink is farming well with 31 last hits, but again, the Luna also continues to do so for Resolution. There's a free farm lane now for move down bottom, which is, of course, exactly what happened top lane at the beginning of this game. It just feels like Wings are rotating around every lane to try to find something. Maybe not mid just yet, but top lane, bottom lane, they weren't successful, obviously. Where do they go from here? What do they do? It looks like they're going to smoke up, but...
They're running a trio that wants to be getting kills. Pudge, techies, at this stage of the game, especially if you're going to max Suicide Squad, or at least take 3 points in it right away, you want to convert this into hero kills. Slow down some of these scaling cores, kill the Invoker before he gets his Midas. Speaking of which, they are moving in mid, but if you don't do that, and at that point, the plan B for Wings is to just play the turtle game. They have a Naga, a Mirana, and a Techies. These heroes can crush waves for days, and in good news for them, their towers have not taken much damage, but Cross Exort Invoker, Luna with Shadow Demon Illusions, they can push pretty hard, and they can push fairly safely, even against Techies' traps. So, Wings holding onto the outer towers, that's their big plan B if they can't find kills, but again, it's still a plan B. It's not the game plan they had in mind when they started this.
Good news is for Wings is that DC are going to have to spend a lot of money investing in sentries and trying to bring down mines as much as possible. It's at least something going their way. Down bottom, Face Beyond has rotated. Moo is trying to push this tier 1 tower. He's doing a pretty good job of this. Face Beyond's right clicks are not very good, but...
Yeah, bear in mind, Suicide Squad is physical damage, so against the Timbersaw with 25 plus armor right now, Techies is not the ideal target to be going for a kill. Let's have the remote mines now. He's going to start laying a trap. They leave 4 heroes top, so they abandon mid lane. Wings just consistently abandoning lanes. But it's not like they're getting a farm advantage here, Mont. They're getting out-farmed by pretty much all the DC cores right now.
Yeah, I mean...
When is it going to change?
The one, again, bright spot again is going back to that Mirana, but I think the Mirana has to start getting involved with arrows or just farming kills.
They're moving top.
Torrent's going to connect. Shadow will be next. Lucent Beam, and he doesn't have Soft Tongue. They miss out on the hook, unfortunately, from Ice Ice. Unlike Shadow will go, but...
You know, one thing I was going to mention, which the draft analyst didn't really touch on, is that Punch Hook can also be really strong defensively. If your ally's getting caught, like Disruption, Torrent, you know where they're going to be. Even the X, you can hook them out right after the X comes. Potentially a very good defensive spell, but hey, if you're hooking your own Skywrath who's not even being targeted, then that is not going to work. So there's some potential for the Pudge to turn these ganks around, but we're just not seeing it. Really nothing working for Wings with this unusual draft.
I mean, DC are the ones being aggressive against this lineup. The Sunstruck's going to hit. It looks like the Torrent will as well, and Innocent will barely survive right now. The Lucent Beam coming in. Link now with the Hatred and a double damage room. Meanwhile, Soxa does get the kill. He will go down, but he does get the trade off before falling. against that Skywrath Mage. And that tier 1 tower, it does end up going down in that bottom lane as well. DC continue to just roll over Wings.
And they're still looking to go on top. There is no song yet. Shadow, deal time for the Genka Naga.
Sunstrike, can he get it done? No, Ice will get the kill, but now back to top. Shadow still in trouble.
Doesn't have song, he's very close, Mod. He's gonna try to juke in the trees. Resolution completely gets his ankles broken. And now, concussive shot, net, can they turn on him?
Shadow's coming in, TP out, Resolution, he will be able to make it away. Nothing to stop that TP.
No song yet. Still though, Eclipse, a very long cooldown as far as carry ultimates go. So, nice job there by Wings. They're doing some of these little things right. They are still getting out farmed. Weeha did end up dying, and that is probably the ideal hero to be killing, especially since he hasn't gotten his Midas yet. Still waiting to see the Techies effect though. Often at least very good at stopping pushes. That's not really the case here, as his tower drops nice and early to the Timbersaw. Yet to see any suicides that result in kills, or really any impact at all from Faith Beyond whatsoever. So, does grab the Soul Ring. It just lends credence to the idea that Wings are more counting on the Techies to turtle, stall the game, and drag it super late with the Naga Siren. But is it a game where Naga and Mirana can carry? There's a lot of ways to do it Naga illusions. I'm not entirely sure that they can just rely on like, oh, we have auto late game against this team. Plus, really good scaling support, Shadow Demon, Pudge, yeah, in theory he could scale with Fleshy, but he's not getting kills.
It's just this aggression though from DC, they might not get full late game. The Torrent comes out, Luminous under Shadow, luckily enough. We get to see Moo being involved in any of these kills from DC, with the exception of the early game fights down bottom. They'll go for the tower, they really want this tier 1, and they've done a good job of trying to focus down each tower individually. There are some heroes setting up defense in the top lane, looking to maybe wrap around and try to find a target, including that Skywrath Mage, but for now, everyone's sitting in the tree line here for Wings, LD.
DC are just farming all 3 lanes. Their cores are pulling dramatically ahead now. Techies with 29 CS, Naga with 43. All of the DC cores at 50 plus. You're gonna win the farm war by default. Arrow though could change this. Nice juke there. Sock says he just calmly walks back. And the arrow's not connecting. Who is gonna take over and change the course of the game? Ice now level 7. Has the max range hook. Pudge, Techies, they've been silent. These are heroes that need to find kills. Is this going to be the big moment for Ice to take over? Radiant team lacking vision, but they've got 4 heroes top.
Smoked up Weeha is also up in the top lane.
They haven't skilled Song yet. He's going to miss the hook. Wait, you got to hit something.
They hit nothing there. Both Arrow and Hook not connecting either target. Faith Beyond TPing in, it looks like Weeha's gonna set this up. Eclipse will come through. Blink doesn't make it out in time. Leap not successful. Sakta, he's gonna be the one to go down. But the ghost ship on you two with the Torn. A double kill for Weeha.
It's a slaughter, and they're looking for more. Sunstrike just barely missing on Faith Beyond. Get 4 mods. They lose only a Shadow Demon. That's without Moo. Moo's not even there. This hero might be their strongest at this stage of the game, and he's just farming bottom. Weeha going for the Midas. Immediately back to the mid lane. This is turning into a train wreck.
Moo's like, I'm not fighting on my Bloodstone yet. Forget it. Hold on a second. Let me get that. I'll come back to you. Weeha has his Midas now, like you talked about. He's building into the drum, of course, with the Akil on top. So just this straight standard build for Aquatic Zord Invokers, and DC continue to pressure. There's a couple of remote mines placed down, but really Faith Beyond has not done anything in terms of anything actually. He's not even used his suicide squad once this game. He's not found any mines.
And he brought it to level 3. He invested a lot in it. Only the 1 point in Stasis Trap is catch a replay here. Ice. The Eclipse comes out first. They had a Sentry Ward. They were ready for the Moonlight Shadow initiation. That's something that we were able to catch DC off guard with quite a bit last game. So looking forward, DC, this is the dream gem game. You're up against the Techies as well as Moonlight Shadow.
Yeah.
You can also easily just scout with the Disruption Illusions of any hero that has the gem. I think Gem is a pretty hard counter to the Wings lineup.
I think you put it on Moo as well. I mean, maybe not a melee hero, but Moo is so tanky that it might not matter. Again, like you talked about with all that physical damage reduction with the armor coming out. Hook coming through again, missing for Faith Beyond. Or excuse me, Ice rather. Faith Beyond on that Techies. Now the Disruption coming out. Thorn combination not there, but Simmer Chain in. Demonic Purge into Innocent.
Where's that hook? Come on, Ice. Doesn't need it. But nice silence on Moo, and DC, there's really no need to force the issue here. They're out farming them. They feel confident in their late game. Like, Axe is coming in an okay clip for the Mirana, but he's not finding kills. Pudge and Techies are basically not even heroes in this game, to be honest. As the two have combined for a 1-4 score. Techies, the other nice thing this hero offers is tower pressure, but we haven't seen that either. He's not been sieging towers. In fact, all the DC towers are at full HP, so really, is the Techies doing? It's just not coming together for Wings.
Getting ready for late game. I don't know. That's all I can.
Yeah, I mean at this point, if you're Wings, you're looking at Mirana Ags, Naga Radiance, Turtle. Try to stall with some pickoffs. Play for ultra late game because the laning stage's long over at this point, and DC completely in the driver's seat.
Blink will send himself down to the bottom lane alongside two other heroes, Innocence and Ice backing him up. Ready to go with a hook, an Ancient Seal, Mystic Flare, whatever they can get. They don't even have Mystic Flare yet. No level 6 on the Skywrath Mage, so they're also lacking in levels. And look at his net worth. He's only got 700. No boots yet for the Skywrath Mage, so this is a rough game. That support, unfortunately.
It's okay. He's got above average base move speed. He's got the wind lace. No, that's pretty bad though if your Skywrath still doesn't have boots of 15 minutes.
It just feels like at every turn, DC outplaying them, outlaning them, finding kills.
And the plan Bs are limited for Waynes. I mean, we see Mirana walk into Roshan, hit him once, but as I was going to say, they can't really just go back to Roshan like a Drow lineup can. They struggle to take towers if Techies isn't right up in front, just constantly dropping landmines. At some point, DC will commence their slow siege. They're disrupting the Luna, they're stacking Ancients, he does have the Dominator. Once the Luna gets 1-2 items, Weehaw gets a couple of items, he can be the one split pushing while they just sit behind the Luna. Can even use the X-Haul. There's a whole top, finally!
They got him, and the remote mines to finish him off. It's one support kill, but at least it feels like so much more for Wings at this point.
Jesus, they had to work for that though. 15.5 minutes before that combo connects.
Misery was actively farming the enemy jungle as well, underneath an Observer Ward. That's how that was done. It just seems like they need an Observer Ward. They need to be having heroes out of position just for them to get those kills in a lot of instances.
I think Gem is the most important item for DC this game.
I'm going to hold off on building it for the time being. We'll see them just farm away. Misery now, again, building into that Harmlet, which is so good at keeping you alive. The rest of DC, I'm thinking about a smoke with Misery as well as Weehaw and Soxa nearby. They'll do so and head towards that mid lane and try to at least get some vision down, but hopefully find a kill.
10,000 gold deficit. Steep hill to climb for Waynes. Radiant Vision does scout out Shadow. They're still smoked. Senses it, Maud. Fire Scan just... Oh, it did just clip resolution there for a second. Now they know.
Misery walking back through as well, so Wings are forced to go to the bottom side of the map, including their secret shop as well as hard camp there, and try to farm in this bottom lane. But for now, there is more split push coming from Resolution, looking to use his waves and work on that tier 2 tower top lane. So again, more map control going the way of DC unless Wings decide to maybe group event fight. But right now, that doesn't seem to be the case. No smokes on anybody that I can see.
And DC can just siege very safely. Disrupt the Luna. She'll have Manta soon. You could scout for the landmine traps if there were any. There's a couple remote mines around. Doesn't look like there's any. Oh, there is one remote mine trap in the trees, but just scout safely, siege safely, use Forge Spirits, poke. They don't have to commit bodies, and if they do want to throw a hero up there, they have the disruption and the X, so they have really good defensive capabilities to allow for a very organized and disciplined siege. And I imagine that's what we're going to see from DC moving forward.
Here we go. The remote mine's starting to be placed down on the high ground, so Dragon Lance might be an item the Luna wants to invest in at some point in time to at least stay a little bit safer. We have Boots of Travel now done. Let's see what the Naga Siren is dealing with. Shadow has Arcane Boots, 3,000 gold, so
he is really poor at this point.
Yeah,
0-3.
He's very far behind.
98 CS. He's 40 CS down on a Luna. This goes back to the offensive tri-lane just completely self-destructing, and along with that, DC taking early towers, it's limited the safe space on the map to farm. Naga just doesn't feel comfortable to go out on her own.
Donka Siren pretty far behind at this point. At 18 minutes in, you'd like to have a lot more. And now the Mantis Tower is done for the Luna. It's a no BKB, no Dragon Lance, just going to the straight Helm of the Dominator into the Mantis Style, and has plenty of stacks to work with as well. So even more farm coming the way of the Luna, about to eclipse 10k net worth at this point. And there is that gem that you were talking about. Probably, like you said, the most important investment in this game for DC.
Now, you know, way back in the day, when nobody was playing techies, before he was even introduced in Dota 2, he was a very popular hero in the Philippines, in Dota 1. And there was a techie specialist. He stood in for a team in a tournament. He was playing really well. He actually went solo mid. He was dominating the game. The enemy team got a gem, but it was taken away very quickly, like almost immediately after they got the gem. Difference in that game, though, was like the opponents needed the gem because Techie still had his tower mid. He was still in complete control of the game. The hero was a bit scared as a map control hero. It was way before the changes to the landmines. They did a lot more damage in single instances, and at that point, losing the gem meant you couldn't deal with techies. I don't really feel like this is that kind of game. This is more like if you have gem, techies really struggles to get anything done. So it's more of a bonus in this case. But yeah, you can see what I mentioned like 15, 20 minutes ago that, you know, Disruption illusions with the gem, the Manta illusions with the gem.
Oh, the remote mines.
Lots of ways to scout, but you can't scout into the trees, so that's something DC will have to be cautious about. Good news is they have someone that hates trees. It's Timber Saw. Moo's just going to start shredding them.
Misery actually took a fair bit of damage from mines there. It felt like an old-timey story. I'm glad you shared that with us. That was pleasant.
Harkening back.
Yeah.
Feeling old this TI more.
Enjoyed the brief story.
They also have ways to scout the PUD, but as I say that,
Resolution challenged up. He's in trouble. Defensive disruption is not there in time. Ice will gladly give his life, but now Blink, he might have to give his as well. X-Mark's back in his song. It'll stop everything. What a pickoff for Wings.
Becky's already back to base. DC giving up a kill there. I was going to say they have really good ways to scout the Pudge, but they didn't actually have a Forge Spirit back behind the tower. So I think in general when DC are sieging, really want to be sending an Illusion or a Forge Spirit, constantly looking for the Pudge. They do have deep wards. It's not like they're not trying. And that's something that should happen when you pick Pudge, is you should be able to at least occasionally find those hooks, catch someone off guard. Shadow Demon, no Force or Blink yet. That would be a really good choice for Soxa. With that item, with either of those items, he could jump in and still save the Luna in that situation.
Just feels like it's a little too late though with that hook almost.
They need a lot more of that. Yeah. Like they ideally want to be finding one of those every time DC pushes. But now the tree clearing begins. DC gonna start a spot of dewarding here. They'll just send an illusion of Moo in to deal with these. Actually a pair. Meanwhile bottom, Blink is setting up on Resolution.
Misery.
He hits the arrow, big catch, and then he leaps in. Can he kill up Resolution? He's a bit too tanky.
He's gonna come through Resolution. I think the hook will finish him off. The ghost ship. Blink actually dodges it narrowly. The timing wasn't there. Now Misery's in trouble.
Alright, Science looking for a second kill. He's gonna get it. Nice pick off by the Pudge, but he might pay with his life. Moo guns him down, and now Mirana forced the TP away. This does free up the mid lane for popping techies. Phase Beyond finally getting to drop landmines on towers for the first time this game.
It's a good start.
They're looking for Shadow
They
bottom.
find Shadow. He's TPing out. We hot season. Cold Snap will come through the meatball. No song available this time. I don't think he had his, of course, Radiance
He was
completed.
close, though. That's a costly death. Really negates almost everything they achieved there.
Yeah.
Makes it a 2 for 2. Plays a key item timing. The Techie's Eggs is coming. And they do, I believe, now have the Mirana BOTs, so pick up 2 big items, but DC with the Timber Saw, they just keep on clearing out trees, calmly plinking away traps, making sure there's nothing hidden around corners, and limit Wing's ability to find those cheap little pickoffs.
There must be 3 or 4 there. Yeah, it looks like there was 4 there altogether. They killed 1 as well.
So what do you do now?
I mean, for Wings, you gotta keep stepping. Oh, they get a hook on Move. That's what they do. And the Mystic Blur with the Ancient Seal, but he's still so tanky. The X-Marks is coming in Eyesight again. Might get caught this time, LD.
BOT's in from the Mirana. Wants to fight this. They don't kill the creep. Blink, though, still wants to back away, and DC chase forward.
He's gonna get caught by the torrent. Will that bring him down? It's the Demonic Purge that does so.
No suicide there. Gives up another kill. DC. Pick off after pick off, tower after tower, but they do find another. It doesn't really matter. Moo just chuckles. He's now picked up the pipe. Further defensive capabilities against this one-hit combo that Wings have, and also a great way to deal with Mirana and Radiance Burn. Really, if you look at Wings, it's almost all magic damage.
Yeah.
Late game, Mirana could go into right-click drill, but she doesn't have the Drow Ranger this time around to buff her up. Nice pick by Blink Bottom. Sniping the Kunkka. Misery not able to armlet toggle his way out.
They're going to go to Roche right now, though. They're going to try to contest this.
This is the Pudge Dream. This is the Pudge Dream mod. If ever there was a time for a Pudge to come up big, now is it.
DC will back out smartly. That Roshan was very dangerous, like you talked about. The hook, and not to mention the song or an arrow coming through. Some serious damage. Blink and Mirana leap out also is available, but now Blink has to use it.
DC should just be patient. Wings cannot Roche. They don't need to Roche now. They can wait until they have 5 alive. Go in as a squad. The boat is an important component of their team fight. There's really no need to force a Roshan 4v5.
There's some wards that have been just placed down. It looks like DC will again counter ward them. This Gem doing so much work this game, especially against that Techie. They'll continue to put wards down of their own and gain map control. At the very least, Wings, they haven't needed to defend high ground yet. They haven't needed to put down those remote mines on the high ground. So see how that transitions. And they will head back into Roche.
Yeah, still holding on to the Gem on move. Still, as a result, able to keep up vision. They say Faith Beyond, laying some traps. If he pokes too much closer, they could go. There's the hook.
They didn't get the Aegis from Resolution in time. The Tornado Suicide Squad. And he will end up staying alive. The disruption keeping him up and ready to go. The silence, the Arcane Bolt won't kill him. And they bring down 3.
There was a Naga illusion in the pit there. I thought Shadow might be able to at least deny the Aegis, but even that wasn't possible. So 3 fall in the end. Song available. This might just be a farming Aegis for DC, honestly. I think they can go high ground, but I don't feel like Wings is getting stronger either. And you can see Moo just diving this Naga. Has absolutely no fear. He's going to force out the song.
Yeah. That is a level 2 song. But the Sunstrike, is it going to do enough damage? Boom! Yes, it does. Weehawk gets the kill. Wow.
You see a draft like this on the main stage of TI, and yes, Wings like their unconventional picks, but you can only imagine they have practiced this, and it has worked before. The Techies instantly securing level 2 in the jungle to start the game, then he heads top. It felt like they had a plan with the tri-lane. It just... DC, that early rotation for Misery, that to me was the key play that prevented Wings from getting momentum in the tri-lane, gave the Timbersaw a good start, and now begins the Disruption Illusion Siege. With Forge Spirits here, Wings need big hooks. It's going to be tough, though. There's an Aether Lens on Soxa now once he gets here, so he has better disruption range. They can also use the X on Misery if they want to send someone in safely for the chip damage.
Faithion running low on mana right now. Only has about 3 mines set up in that trap to the right. You have Faithion sitting back. Blink will jump in, look for a target. Oh, they'll get an illusion instead. Tier 3 tower now down. This wave's starting to chop through. I've seen this before.
They got to find a pickoff soon, Mon.
Not finding anything just yet for Wings.
Oh, even the arrow missing. That could have been the Luna's death, maybe.
They get Moo on top of the line. He'll stay alive, save the trap, and he will fall.
That's the Gem down.
The Eclipse coming through, doing some work. They have the Moonlight Shadow, but it's too dead for Wings. Respawn from
Mirana could do some work here, but already Timbersaw is back in.
Yeah, so quick. Plenty of charges, and it's a full set of racks, it looks like. I'll let the range troops deal with, of course, that ranged racks, and now they'll head to the top lane, get the tier 3 tower. X-Marks will come through, it'll be up on the Techies. He'll get called, but the Torrent, the Glaive hitting him.
They can't even walk near the racks. The bouncing Glaives just hurt too much. DC, 2 lanes down, and no signs of stopping. They immediately rotate bottom. This pocket strategy has completely backfired.
Wings are just getting crushed in this game too. This, like you said, this pocket strategy, it's not accomplishing what they wanted. It comes down to that Fairy Fire as well as Torrent in the beginning of the game. Now, not only a Torrent, but a Ghost Ship coming through, allowing them to push even further, and that's
it's over, Mon. GG, Wings get stomped. Down 20k gold. They never led this game with a Pudge, a Techies, and a pocket strat that just didn't pan out. But credit to DC, they saw something unexpected at least. I think the Techies was unexpected. Not sure if the Pudge was, as Wings have run it before, and adapted really well.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much really to talk about that game. And it's just unfortunate Wings that, like you said, they might have tried that strategy before, and it more than likely worked. That's why they're bringing it out here on TI in the main stage. And of course, it does mean that we get more heroes picked, but still, it's not successful. So I appreciate the effort from them, but DC, they have a strategy of their own. It's called Shadow Demon Luna, and it works to perfection.
Yeah, once they got the gem, Techies, and having a Timber Saw as well meant you could just clear out the trees. Yeah, maybe Techies gets one kill from the remote mine trap inside the trees. After that, you're just going to constantly be scouting for them with the Timber Saw. So DC, despite never really getting to practice against Techies, adapted extremely well to this pocket strat.
Moving forward to game 3, assuming Winx picks more standard or conventional heroes, although for
I don't think we'll see a Pudge Techies.
Yeah, for Wings, I don't know if there really are standard or conventional heroes, but moving forward to game 3, what do you think about Wings' chances moving into that?
I think they can beat DC straight up. I don't think they need to go too crazy. Like a pocket pick or something that counters DC's lineup, sure. I didn't mind the Pudge pick at all. I think Pudge is really good against Disruption setup. He's also really good against X setup. You just hook that hero out after they get caught. Yeah, with the Shadow Demon Illusions, maybe they block the hook sometimes, but I think the Pudge pick on its own had a lot of potential. The Techies, for me, is where it just got too cheesy, and it felt like they had to have a better laning stage. They did it. They didn't really have a plan B.
They got a little too crazy and off the rails, so I'll wait and see, of course, how that game 3 does develop. But before we do, we are going to throw it back over to the analysts and see what they think.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much to Morton LD down there. I mean, was that bit too crazy, LD?
I think the Techies was a pick too far.
A crazy moment too far.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll come back to you.